right at the defenseman of the Flyers, and 1-0 Detroit.
Maltby's fourth, his first shorthanded goal. Drake's now in back Konstantinov along with Nicholas Lidstrom. It's rattled around behind Mike Vernon over to Desjardins. Desjardins tried to flip it through. It's knifed behind to Lindros. Lindros out to Niederma, and it's up, popped up. They scramble for it at the front of the net. Score!
There was 13 seconds to go on the power play, and the puck's jammed in by the Flyers. Watch the great play by Brind'Amour. Watch him right here pick up his man. He holds Lidstrom's stick right there, so Lidstrom can't get to the puck. It buys a little time. Now the Flyers work from behind the net. Jam play as Niederma had moved in, and there's Lindros. The puck's in the crease. Lindros is out, and the puck is over the goal line. It's being reviewed. I believe Lindros went into the crease after the puck had gotten there. Ryan Burke, Dave.
The defenseman put it behind. Draper hopped to it, put it out in front. Ward with a shot, and it went wide. Chipped around. Out in front, it went off of Hextall's stick. Back for another drive, and that one ricocheted back down. Oh, some good. McCarty and Draper able to play it through. Carried on by Nicholas Lidstrom. Fired one that went off Samuelson. Samuelson's pass is stolen. Around in front, Koser. He scored! Joe Koser, who is playing on a 30 and over team at Christmas.
And they celebrated the Joe. Joey Koser started in the NHL in Detroit. Scotty Bowman and the coaching staff can't believe how Joey Koser, how much he knows the game. Shel Samuelson blocked the shot, got the puck, and threw it blind right here. Right through the middle. There's Joe Koser reading the play. He's got another man with him, and I think Hextall was thinking the pass from Koser across to Draper. Instead, Koser goes to the backhand and roofed it. I mean, I'm talking a bullseye major league play. Look at the roof job right underneath the crossbar. He used Draper on the other side as a decoy.
Samuelson, Steve Yzerman to the back to Fedorov. Lidstrom fires, juggled by Hextall, loose puck, thrown in front, and it's knocked down and held.
A good point shot, good recovery by Ronnie Hextall to stop Sandstrom on the rebound. Detroit moved the puck around the blue line across here. Big shot, look at Sandstrom. Flyers got moving around. Both defensemen were over on one side of the ice. Samuelson and Terrien were both over on the right side. They're both across on that side. Look at the open ice here. Sandstrom has time, waits for the puck to settle down, and by that time, he can't get it up, and Ron Hextall recovered nicely before Brind'Amour got back. Sandstrom shift here as he cuts and has 3 men on him, yet still finds a way to set up the trailer. Brind'Amour, look at him trailing in. Good quick shot. Mike Vernon made it look pretty easy, read the play nicely. Here, Druce battled through the hooks of Shanahan, gets loose, keeps the puck ahead of him as much as possible, and still battles. Now here he doesn't give up on the play, keeps it alive. A little look. There's Brind'Amour, and there's the shot. Good effort by John Druce.
In the playoffs every year, there is debate about lays it on a cross for Podine. Podine run off by Fetisov. Puck back to the point. Samuelson hurried a shot. Deflected high and it bounced down. Scramble all and out and get it with the glove was Vernon.
All 5 make that 6 Red Wings right there, including Mike Vernon. Coffey did a nice job by not creating the offside. He put a lateral pass along the blue line, which kept the Flyers onside, then moved into the zone. Here's the shot. Look at all the Flyers go to the net, and all the Red Wings come right back and collapse. They respect the size of the Flyers. 6 Red Wings are right in front, 6 of them. Shot was deflected up high. Vernon doesn't see it. It drops down. He does not panic, but he catches it with a glove. And the Detroit Red Wings come right back in deep and help out Mike Vernon. They collapse real deep. The puck there never hit the stick of Lacroix. It hit his arm. Now look at Vernon not flail. The puck actually crawled down his arm. There it finds the glove, and he hangs on. Mike Vernon spread out across the goal line, did not panic, and ended up making.
Up with it, Shanahan. The pass across is gloved down by Brown and given to Fedorov. Fedorov with a shot. That one blocked. Fedorov again. It's in on Hextall. Kicked off his pad and lifted back along, but not out. Rouse keeps the pressure on Konstantinov. A shot. It hit the pipe. Turnaround shot, and Hextall got a piece of that. with a shot that's tipped to the seats. Oh.
There was a goal post on a deflection by Shanahan as Detroit put some pressure on in the second period. As Detroit has 8 of the 11 shots. There's another look at the deflection by Shanahan. Got in behind Ronnie Hextall and was almost 3-1.
Yzerman on the face-off with
To make his next shift.
He has the goal of margin on the breakaway. Niederma's shot save. Covering is Vernon. And the puck wound up going over. Looked like the Flyers were really upset, but it occurred after the whistle.
Mike, the best offense at Lindros' line away, almost a deflection, finds a rebound, and then he's thrown down to the ice surface by Steve Yzerman. This was Koser's last shift. There, stick through the legs by Terrien, twisted down, and that twisted the knee a little bit of Joe Koser, who struggled to get back to the bench. But again,
I do apologize. That one did not go over, but it looked for a moment like it had. Here's Fedorov cruising in, shooting. I think that one was in and popped back out quickly, just under the crossbar, and it does. It is a goal, and it is 3-1. They just restrung these nets today, so there's a lot of pop to them.
rushing, pinching. Here goes Fedorov with a 2-on-1, and folks, watch this wrist shot. Snap, top corner, over the shoulder of Ronnie Hextall. There's the shot. A big-time Major League shot again as Hextall's beaten up high for the third time by Detroit, and Detroit has the 3-1 lead. They took care of defense, generated offense.
Not able to take it away. Niederma with a little toss ahead now to Lacroix. Lacroix up the wing, and Druce is in. Druce with a shot that's saved by Vernon, and he covers.
And the biggest save of the game for Vernon. The left wing lock here was broken by the Flyers. Flat out broken. And a great wing. Sandstrom head across. Here is Drew staying wide. Look at him stay wide. What a pass. Bullseye. He's in. Now right here, Fetisov does everything but tackle Druce, and he couldn't. And Vernon the save. Maybe Fetisov harassed Druce enough. But watch Druce cut to his right. Get to the right, get open. There he goes to his right, got open. He moves in. Fetisov knocked him a little bit off balance, and Vernon made the save. Oh, that's some play. Some play. As the left wing lock was broken, Vernon stayed up, moved across, no hole through the legs, and Druce was stopped. Fourth line for the Flyers get the good scoring chance.
Brown now for Lindros, 2 seconds left on the penalty, and Fetisov is out as on comes Redberg. Fed it across for Jessica!
That first pass is beautiful. Here's a 3-on-2, and right through the legs goes the shot. Now the neutral zone pass was beautiful. This sets up the 3-on-2. Bad angle shot. Vernon was out so far that he tried to recover. He couldn't get closed up. Redberg skating beautifully. Puts the puck wide, and there's Leclerc, and through the legs. Now Vernon is out so far. 1 step, 2 steps, and can't close the legs. John Leclerc gets Philadelphia back into the game after their power play did not work.
Leclerc's 8 from Redberg and Lindros. A legion calmly aside by the defense.
The 3-on-2 that didn't work.
Flyers changing. Yzerman shooting. He scores! Steve Yzerman with a bullet. And it is 4-2.
Now the Flyers had a 3-on-2, Mike. Moved up ice. Both defensemen were back for Detroit. The fans in Detroit celebrating early in the fifth. Leclerc made the great block, but the bad pass. Detroit recovers. The Flyers changing, and a bad goal on Hextall. He's beaten from just inside the blue line with Niederma back. There's the shot, no deflection. Hextall gets beat for a bad one, and the Red Wings have the 2-goal lead.
Undoubtedly triggers memories of Steve Yzerman's blast in the second overtime of Game 7 last year in the playoffs against St. Louis. Hextall got some sarcastic applause for that grab. Hey. Brindamore bringing it ahead. Watched by Fetisov. And it's fed back down.
His 5th in the playoffs. The assistant, number 55, Larry Murphy.
And the icing touch-up, Larry kicked over to Leclerc. Leclerc started it ahead for Eric Lindros. To Leclerc! Save! Made!
The puck back, a beautiful pass, and there's the slap shot from halfway between the blue line and the top of the circle. Vernon played out so far.
MasterCard. The future of money.
That wasn't offside.
It was offside. I said it was offside.
It wasn't even close. You know, it's a good game. You should probably
Hey,
watch
listen, why don't you just let me do my job?
You're making us look like idiots here, you know?
Just get out of here, huh?
Oh, get out of here. You want a piece of me?
Yeah, I want a piece of you. Come on, Eddie, baby!
Let's go, man. Let's go, man.
I love this game. Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers.
Not a lot of activity in that crowd, you see. 291 here. They've been averaging around 11,000 to watch, and here's Shanahan, a shot save made by Hextall right off.
Was there. Watch here. Lacroix doesn't get the shot there, but he fights and recovers and gets the puck. Again, he loses it. Again, he recovers it. Now watch the Flyers in front. Big guys, including Otto, and Detroit's got all 6 players there again in front of the net. They're collapsing so low around Mike Vernon. All the Red Wings are there, and Vernon's able to hang on to it. Look at Fetisov on Otto. Konstantinov, so they're all there. Another face-off. They've got to try to keep plays alive.
Lindros across. Oh, and what a play made by Vernon as he got the glove on the shot.
I tell you, Mike, I honestly thought Lindros would shoot. He made a pass across to Klatt, who took a stride, then the shot, and a 2-on-1 save by Mike Vernon, just a gigantic save. 2-on-1, here it is. Klatt's on the far side. Vernon takes 2 strides, and the save is made.
Oh.
Remember in the second period, Vernon couldn't take 2 strides because Leclerc shot and scored. Watch Vernon. 1 step, 2 steps. It took Klatt too long to shoot. And by the time he shot, there was Mike Vernon, glove extended, the save of the game in the catcher's mitt. The save of the game so far. Vernon, 1 stride, 2 strides, glove out, there it is, as he robs Trent Klatt. Not a goal scorer, but he got into position and was flat out robbed. The save of the game.
Would have flops it back in, Bob Rouse with it. Bob Rouse, who broke up a 2-on-1 that the Flyers had when the score was closer in the second. Again by Konstantinov on Klatt.
Oh, baby, did he hit him. Klatt is shaking a little bit. He's a little woozy. Konstantinov was shoulder into the chest, and man, did he catch him. He's a big hitter, 11th rounder. Oh, there's a collision and a clean one. And Klatt was a little woozy on the play. Back in '86 World Championships, Konstantinov played center ice. Shut down Marcel Dion, the great Hall of Fame goal scorer in the series. But here in the NHL, he plays defense and throws. As the Flyers press late, 4:20 to go.
Yzerman breaks it up. It's McCarty to Yzerman in front, waiting, and the shot went off Hextall. And we get a stoppage of play.
This time, whoa, a shot taken late by Fetisov that hit somebody well after the whistle. Well after the whistle. And that's brought really the first scrum of the hockey game. The first one where everybody's in against each other. The very first time. A late shot. I believe it. Here's the turnover. Coffey can't get to it. Turned over as Maltby forced the play. Now, there's no shot right here, but watch Hextall go down, yet stay up with his chest. And then there, made the save with his foot. Quick whistle. And for some reason, Fetisov took the extra shot. He'll probably say he didn't hear the whistle. But he certainly did shoot the puck late, and that got everybody's attention. Ronnie Hextall made a fine save to allow the long shot by Yzerman, which really hurt the Flyers here early.
Larionov in front. On LaPointe was stoned by Hextall. Or it would be a 3-goal lead. Fetisov holding it now. Then over to Konstantinov. To Larionov. In front of the net, taking some punishment is LaPointe. It's fed along for a shot by Shanahan. Stopped and covered by Hextall.
They didn't get the good shot. He flat out missed it. And it was an easy save for Hextall. Before that, though, LaPointe was robbed with the